supposed to discuss all these details, how the object is created, how we are going to perform the operation, what type of classes we are going to use, all that. So there are around 7 points to be discussed here. These are all the points to be discussed. So let us start with the first one. An object packages both data and the procedures. Here we know that object includes two types. What are those? The data on which the operation is performed and the implementation part. The procedure means it includes the coding part. What type of implementation you are going to perform. Where the procedures are the methods or operations to be performed. That means what? Procedure means inside the procedure you have given the implementation part, the code. What is that execution you are going to do? In that code, you also, based on the request, based on the method, based on the algorithm, you are going to perform the operations. What actually the object contains? It includes both the data and the code, where the procedure means it includes the methods or the operations to be performed. Next one, objects are encapsulated during the execution and therefore objects cannot be accessed directly. So I think last class we discussed so many types of design patterns and their descriptions, correct? How we encapsulate, what type of pattern we are going to use to encapsulate? We are going to use the design pattern command. How is that going to encapsulate? Based on the n number of requests, first it will put the request into a queue and this queue of request is encapsulated as an object, correct? So objects are encapsulated using which pattern? Command pattern. So as you have encapsulated the objects during execution, these objects cannot be accessed directly. The clients cannot access these objects, the encapsulated objects directly. So what actually this means? The clients, they cannot, it is invisible. These encapsulated objects are invisible for the outside world. The clients cannot directly see these objects, encapsulated objects. So what is the technique to give the access for the clients? We have to go for decomposing. The next point, decomposing a system into objects is a hard part. So this task is not so easy. So decompose is very hard to perform. Why? Because the parameters like the encapsulation, granularity, dependency, flexibility, performance, evolution, reusability, error to be considered in the object-oriented design. That means here, decompose is very tough to perform because while decomposing the objects, you need to take care of the responsibilities of each of these parameters. What are those? Encapsulation. What is encapsulation? You are going to combine these requests as an object. So this to be taken care. How many requests you have encapsulated? Then what is granularity? Granularity is nothing but level of detail. Level of detail means with respect to objects here. How many objects you have? What type of data you have used? Whether you are performing operation on the binary data or decimal data, all the details. What percentage of detail that granularity provides? That has to be taken care. Then dependency. Why you have to go for dependency? Once you have cascaded, using the abstraction, what you have done, you have cascaded the number of stages, number of objects. Your objects are coupled to each other. So objects will run dependently. Output of one object is given as an input to the other object. So how many objects you have coupled? That also to be taken care. Then we also have to take care about flexibility. What is flexibility here? We know that. So we are going to attach the additional responsibility. Correct? Say for example, you have 4 subsystems in architecture. You want to go for one more operation. What I will do? I will attach one more stage. I will attach the responsibility. I will add one more subsystem. I will cascade one more subsystem to the existing one. So your design pattern is flexible. Therefore, the objects will run dependently. Then we also have to take care how the design pattern performs, whether it is performing well, whether the performance is stable, whether it is constant throughout, whether any failure takes place when you go on adding the number of stages here. So performance has to be taken care. Performing all means it is in terms of a memory space utilized or it in terms of a time management, all that. Then we also have to take care the responsibility of evolution. What is evolution? Evolution is nothing but extending the existing one. I think all these parameters you have studied in the subject software engineering, correct? Then we also have to take care of the parameter reusability. What is reusability? reusing the existing one. The same object, I will not create the new object. Instead, whatever I have already created, that I will make use of it. All these parameters are to be considered while decomposing a system. Is that clear? The first point to be discussed here is object includes both the code and the data. Where code means you have written, you have given the implementation part in the procedure. What actually that procedure contains? Procedure contains the method, the concept what you have followed, what type of algorithm you have written. Then what are the operations you are going to perform on these objects. So that has to be taken care. Then objects are encapsulated during execution. Therefore, these objects are invisible for the clients. So the clients cannot access these encapsulated objects directly. Because the representation, what you have encapsulated, that representation is invisible from the outside. The clients cannot view these encapsulated objects. Then, so therefore what we are going to do? So in order to provide access for the clients, what we are going to do? We are going to perform the decomposing. So while decomposing, you need to take the performance parameters into consideration. What are those? Encapsulation, granularity, dependency, flexibility, performance, evolution and reusability. Encapsulation means all the request as encapsulated as an object. How many objects you have encapsulated? Granularity, how many set of data you have? Well, how many set of fine-grained objects you have? What is fine-grained? Then more number of objects with less amount of data. How many objects you have, that detail has to be provided. Then that means based on the requirement. All the clients are not given the information about all the objects. Only the required information has to be provided to the client. Then dependency, since you have cascaded the objects here, objects will run dependently. So output of one stage is given to the next stage. So the object in the next level has to wait for the previous level. So once the execution is completed, the output is given to the next stage. Then flexibility means whether your design pattern is flexible to attack the responsibility. Then performance, how best your design pattern performs, how it is going to, whether it is performing well or not. Then evolution is about extending the existing one. Reusability, using the same object and you are going to perform different operations. So all these parameters are to be considered while decomposing a system in the object-oriented design. Shall I go to the next slide? Students?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next one. We have object-oriented design methodologies include different approaches. So in these, in the first point I discussed about what type of methods you are going to read are to be mentioned here. Now let us discuss what are all the approaches to design these methodologies. Okay, there are three approaches here. In the first approach, we can write problem statement. Problem statement is the name of the problem to be, name of the operation to be performed. That is done by which part? Which pattern? Visitor. Who will take care of that responsibility? Visitor will define the problem statement. The operation is going to be performed. Then single out nouns and verbs. Single out is nothing but picking one from the group. So I have nouns and verbs here is with respect to objects. Noun means what your design pattern is flexible, so you have n number of stages. You have cascaded n subsystems here. So each subsystem has the particular set of objects. Now we have to give the name for each of these subsystems. So which subsystem I am going to use? From which subsystem I am going to provide the access to the client. The data is from which unit? So the noun should be picked here, and the verbs. Verbs means the detail. Once you have picked that subsystem, what type of operation you can perform on that data. So that is to be done. And create corresponding classes and operations. We know that classes will create the object, where object includes both the data and the code. So what type of classes are creating, what type of objects are to be taken care, and what type of operations you are going to perform on each of these class and the objects. So what is the first step? For the first approach in the methodology to be done, first you have to define the process to be done, the problem to be solved. Then you have to pick what type of object you are going to use and what type of operation you are going to perform. Then which classes will create which group of objects and what type of operation the classes performs on the object. All these are to be considered in the first methodology. In the second one, we have to focus the collaborations and responsibilities in the system. Collaboration is nothing but how these subsystems will work together. I have some 10 stages coupled now. How all these 10 will interact each other, how best they work together, and the responsibilities. Responsibilities means you have divided. The overall operation is divided among these subsystems. So each unit is performing which operation? What is the responsibility is given to each of these subsystems? So all these to be taken care in the second level. The third level we have in the third methods I am dividing into 3 stages. First stage, I'll define the problem, I'll pick out the nouns and verbs, I'll create the classes, and I will define what type of operations to be done. Second step, I am going to check whether all my subunits are interacting well, and what are the responsibilities I have to give for each of these subunits. The third step, I have to check whether stick modeling of the real world. Real world means I am going to perform the operation